Hey guys, welcome back to Holly's Garage. My name is Charlie and today we'll be making over my client's bedroom set. She gave me these two huge dressers. One was a long one with so many drawers. Same thing goes for the tall boy. Humongous, almost as tall as me. But they're all solid wood, they're very well constructed, and they're very heavy. Even the movers that came to deliver it to us almost fell down the ramp while holding these things. Holy cow. But moving on, I always like to start by removing the handles so then I can clean the piece. I'm just using some simple green cleaner and some water, and I'm just going to be scrubbing that all around just to get all the dirt and grime off of the dresser. So next I'm going in with my Orbital sander just to scuff sand both pieces, and this is really important to do because first of all it'll smooth down all the surfaces, and second of all when you scuff sand it'll kind of create a little bit of texture so then your primer will really grab onto it. This is especially important to do on factory finished pieces because usually the coating that they put on will be really thick. We are going to be stripping the tops off of both these dressers, so I'm just going to go in with some Super Remover. I'm not sure if it's only available in Canada or not, but it's worked really well for me. But check it out. The stripper comes out brown when I pour it all over the top. I don't know if I got like a bad batch or something, but it still seemed to work really well, so I don't know what's going on with that. So after the strippers had 15 to 20 minutes to sit, we're just going to scrape it off with our putty knife and we're going to just collect all the gunk in an old poly can. A scraper also works really well to get all that sticky stuff off. After I have most of the stripper scraped off, I like to go in with my lacquer thinner and some steel wool just to kind of dissolve all the rest of the residue that's on there. You want to try to get it as clean as possible before you go to sand, just because if you have some stuff left on there, it could gunk up your sandpaper really quickly. These pieces had solid wood tops, so I'm not too afraid of going through any veneer since it doesn't have any, but most of the time I will get pieces that have veneer on the top, so you do have to be a little bit careful when you're sanding down. And then I just repeated the process on the tall boy. So then we filled in all the holes and sanded them back down flat. A lot of filler tends to shrink once it dries, so your best bet is to overfill the holes by just a bit, so then that way you won't have to fill twice. I'm going to be going in with my Kills primer today. If you've been here on my channel before, you know how much I love this stuff. Because it's oil based, it'll block your bleed through really well on parts that maybe you've sanded to the bare wood. And then it's also really easy to use, there's no cleanup, and it's relatively affordable. But whenever you're using like an aerosol product, especially an oil-based one, you want to be sure to wear your respirator just so you can block out all those harmful chemicals and protect your lungs. We're going to be going in with Dark Navy by Bear into our new Wagner gun and straining the paint into the cup with 20% water. I'm still getting used to this gun. The spray is really fine and I'm not sure if it's supposed to have this type of coverage, but it's only the first coat so I'm not too worried. So I upped the material flow on the front of the dresser here and it seemed to spray a lot better. So that's the thing with different kinds of guns, they all kind of work a little bit differently and they're not a one size fits all. This gun is like triple the price of my home right gun, but it is a lot lighter, the spray is finer, it comes with its own air compressor, and the motor is detachable, which is great for cleaning. So when you're spraying with the drawers in like I'm doing here, you most likely won't be able to get like the top and the sides of the dresser. So that's when I like to go in with a small brush and a roller just to make sure that all the sides and the tops are covered. So next we have to protect all our hard work with some poly. I poured it into the gun with the blue paint to kind of tint it to prevent it from getting milky or cloudy. So all in all, I think we had 3 coats of poly on the dresser. And after everything's dry, it's time to stain the top. And this is one of the most satisfying parts of this whole thing, you guys, is taking off the paper. I'm gonna put some mineral spirits all over the top just to get rid of the dust, get it ready for stain. So another reason to use mineral spirits before is because it won't raise the grain like water does. It also acts as a wood conditioner, so then the gel stain will absorb evenly, but oak tends to stain nicely anyway, but it's just to be safe. My client chose the color chestnut as her wood color, so I'm just going to be using this gel stain by Minwax. So when you first open it up, it'll be all congealed and kind of solid, but if you just mix it up, it'll turn into like a pudding consistency, and that's the consistency that you want. So I'm just using a cut up sponge to apply the gel stain, but you can use a shop towel or a foam brush, but you do want something that you can use to rub it in. You can rub it in any direction you like, but just make sure that your last strokes are with the grain from edge to edge. So while that's drying, I'm just going to start drilling my holes into the drawers for the new hardware to sit into. A speed square is really helpful for this part, just to keep your measurements the same height. If it's a little off, you'll be able to see it when it's done, and that's when it starts looking a little DIY. So once I've marked where I want my hole to be, I take a pointy screwdriver and I punch it into like a little divot, so then my drill has a spot to sit so it doesn't run away from me while I'm drilling. I did this to 18 drawers and we were finally ready to install the hardware. So the hardware is finally on and it is looking so good. What do you guys think of the ring pulls? After the stain is dry, we took some oil-based polyurethane to protect the wood. Even though it's taped, we still used a guard to prevent any off spray on the piece. Oil-based finishes like this one tend to amber the wood over time, and it'll give it like a really nice and deep, like rich look. And just like that, we've transformed this old set into something new and beautiful and something that'll last for years to come. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this makeover. If you're liking this kind of content, please subscribe. It really helps me out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.